The night air was thick with tension. Footsteps echoed dangerously close behind her. Wine ran, her heart pounding like wire drums in her chest. She kept her face hidden beneath a dark hood, weaving through alleys, breathless. The men were still following her fast, relentless. She spotted a large garden beside a house and dove into the shadows, pressing herself between a hedge and a stone wall. She struggled to keep her breathing silent. Somewhere behind her, voices rang out. Man 1. Where the hell did she go? Man 2. I think she ran that way. Come on, move. The sound of weapons clinking and angry shouts echoed through the night as the armed men dispersed, still searching. Her heartbeat slowed when she saw them move further away. She closed her eyes and let out a careful sigh of relief. Then, lifting two fingers to her lips, she made a low, strange whistle, like a bird call, unique and coded. Moments later, a flutter of wings, an African grey parrot soared down from the sky and landed gently on her arms. Something was tied to its leg. Kiko, I got it. I doesn't lose it. I have it. One smiled, her eyes softening for the first time that night. She carefully untied a tiny flash drive from the bird's leg. Wine, good job, baby. Now let's go to the office. Kiko, go office, go home. Wine pulled her hood tighter and began walking silently and swiftly. The parrot flew quietly beside her, never leaving her side. A while later, Wine arrived at a small, seemingly abandoned building that served as one of the office hidden headquarters. The parrot perched itself on a tree branch nearby and stayed there watching. Inside, her teammates were already waiting. Jenny, took you long enough. Why? Don't even ask. A bunch of guys were after me. I barely made it out. Jack, are you okay? Did they follow you? Why? No, I lost them. Barely, but I got what we needed. Jenny, good. The chief will be here any minute. Moments later, their unit head entered, Mr. Lee, followed by two other agents. The trio stood up in attention. Wine, sir, the mission you gave us is complete. Here is the proof. She handed over the flash drive. Mr. Lee plugged it into his laptop and watched the encrypted footage unfold. Mr. Lee, excellent. Your team has improved a lot. I am proud of you. All three beamed with pride. All, thank you, sir. Mr. Lee left the room with the other agents. As soon as the door closed, a smug voice rang out from across the room. But peace didn't last. Max, well, look at the little team grow up. Just yesterday you were trailing behind us, learning how to do everything. The jab hit its mark, Wine and other tens. Jack, and you were learning from someone once too. Don't act like you came out perfect. Max, fair point, but no matter what you three do, you will never outrank me. The next mission and the next award will be mine. Jenny, we will see who gets it. Wine, we have got work to do. Come on. Max coughing. Max, such amateurs. Wine turning sharply. Wine, watch your mouth, Max. Being senior doesn't mean you get to talk trash. Max, relax. You do your job. I will do mine. He walked out, leaving behind a cloud of smugness. The trio stayed behind, silent. Jenny, Max's ego just keeps inflating. Jack, there is no one else like him in our sector. The officers worship the ground he walks on. Wine, he got at the job. I will give him that. But as a human being, he is a walking pile of arrogance. They all stood still for a moment, knowing that while the mission was done, the war inside the agency had just begun. Gunfire tore through the silence, screams, explosion, and the clash of metal echoed across the night. The darkness was thick, suffocating, lit only by the occasional flash of muffled fire. One team was failing, falling fast. The other moved like shadows, precise and ruthless, dismantling their enemies with terrifying ease. Minutes later, the chaos settled. The air was heavy with smoke and blood. One side had been entirely wiped out. Every soldier lay lifeless on the ground, all except one. Luca, blood splattered but unharmed, stepped forward from the shadow and spoke into his com. Luca, boss, they are all dead. Only their boss is still breathing. faint rustling came from the far end of the room. A silhouette shifted in the darkness. Slowly a figure emerged, elegant in posture, calm in expression, the face of a man the world knew as a saint. But in the underworld his name struck fear like dread itself, Jungkook. He wore a faint, crooked smile as he stepped forward. His dark eyes gleamed coldly in the dim light. Jungkook finally. He walked slowly, deliberately, until he stood before the long survivor, a man named Aiden. Aiden was on his knees, injured and defeated, breathing heavily. As soon as he saw Jungkook's foot in front of him, he looked up, pain and rage burning in his eyes. Jungkook, how does it feel now? Aiden growling. Aiden, shut up. It's not that easy to bring me down. Jungkook chuckled, amused and unbothered. Jungkook, oh really? Take him, give him my special treatment. Two men stepped forward to grab Aiden, but before they could reach, Aiden's hand shot to his side. In one swift motion, he raised the pistol laying next to him and pulled the trigger against his own temple. Bang! His body hit the floor, blood pooling beneath his head. Jungkook cursing under his breath. Jungkook, shit, killed himself. Coward. He turned around with a flick of his coat. Jungkook, let's move. Inside the car, the silence inside the armored black sub was thick and tense. Rain tapped lightly against the windows. No one spoke, not even Luca. Jungkook leaned back, his expression unreadable. Jungkook, make sure every last body disappears. Not a single trace. No bodies, no evidence. Luca, understood, boss. The car rolled down the empty street, headlights cutting through the dark. It was one of those nights, quite cold, temporary. Because nights like this don't last, and soon blood would spill again. The morning sun streamed softly through the half-open curtains. One stared in bed, her eyelids fluttering open slowly. She blinked against the light, but made no effort to get up. A familiar voice echoed in the room, a sharp, chirpy one. Kiko, Wine, wake up, Wine, get up, chirped her pet parrot from its perch. Wine groaned, Wine, let me sleep a little longer. Kiko, the clock says it's already 8, the parrot warned, and that Wine's eyes flew open. Wine, oh no, I am late. In a flash, she threw off the covers and hurried to get ready. She managed to throw together a quick breakfast, feed the parrot, and paused by its gaze. Wine, I won't take you with me today, she said gently. You will guard the house while I am gone. I will be quick back by night. Kiko, be careful, the parrot mimicked, flapping its wings slightly. Wine smiled, kissed the top of its head, and rushed out the room. The office was unusually quiet. Everyone had been called in early. There was an announcement to be made, a new mission briefing. Agents from all units gathered in the conference room, their posture alert and disciplined. Moments later, the double doors opened and Mr. Lee, the chief of operations, walked in. The entire room rose to their feet, heads bowed in respect. Mr. Lee, be seated, he said, his voice calm and commanding. Mr. Lee, as you all know, over the past few months, you have completed several crucial missions. Many of you have made impressive progress. Based on that, we have compiled a ranking chart. A large screen came alive behind him, displaying a list of teams. Mr. Lee, one team has shown exceptional performance and climbed to the top. Congratulations to Mac and his squad. Applause filled the room. Max and his teammates stood proudly and walked up to receive their award. Mr. Lee nodded approvingly and continued, Mr. Lee, second place goes to Wyan and her team. Honestly, I hadn't expected such rapid growth from your unit. Your dedication and hard work have brought you here. More applause. Wyan and her two teammates stepped forward and accepted their award with pride. Mr. Lee, now his tone turned serious. We are assigning several high-risk missions, among them one of the most utmost importance. The room fell into a heavy silence. Mr. Lee, we have received disturbing intelligence on Jeon, publicly known as one of the world's most generous CEOs, but appearances can be deceiving. Reports link him to illegal arms trade, human trafficking, and various underground networks. Max immediately raised his hand. Max, sir, if you allow it. My team would like to take the lead on this operation. But Mr. Lee shook his head. Mr. Lee, this time I want to give a smaller team a chance to prove themselves. Why, you and your squad are assigned to this mission. One's eyes widened with surprise and excitement. Her teammates exchanged eager looks. Max, on the other hand, went silent. The tightness in his jaws gave away his frustration. Though he said nothing, the mission had begun. A few days later, the cafe was buzzing with life. The tables were full, laughter and chatter echoed through the space, and the coffee machine barely had time to rest. Among the clinking of cups and murmuring customers, three figures moved with practiced grace: Wayne, Jenny, and Jack. Jenny leaned close to Wayne as she waved down a table. Jenny, do you think Mr. John will come today? Wayne, of course, he comes here quite often. Behind the counter, they all kept busy, but there was a tension and anticipation. Moments later, a sleek black car pulled up outside. A tall, impeccably dressed man stepped out. He was handsome, dangerously so. His sharp eyes scanned the cafe as he entered with quiet authority. He sat down at a corner table. Wine took a bag and walked toward him, her steps composed, her expression innocent and polite. Wine, would you like something to drink, sir? The man, John Jungkook, looked up. His gaze lingered on her for a few silent seconds. Wine felt her heart skip. Had he recognized something? Had she made a mistake? Jungkook, bring me a cold coffee. Wine, right away, sir. She turned with a calm expression, but inside her nerves prickled. She made the drink herself, careful with every step. This wasn't just coffee, it was tragedy. Returning to the table, she placed the drink in front of him. Jungkook didn't speak. He took a sip, eyes still on her. Wine, would you like anything, sir? Jungkook, no, but the coffee tastes different today. Wine smiled sweetly. I made it myself, sir. Jungkook continued to stare at her. She felt it, the way his gaze didn't just look, but searched. Then silently he looked away and kept sipping. Wine walked back toward the counter. Wine, under her breath, his eyes, there's something else. It's hard to believe someone like him exists. So calm, so perfect, Jenny. Exactly. And remember, people often turn out to be the opposite of how they look. Jack, both of you shut it and focus on your work. Jenny, we are working. Jack, yeah, I can see how hard you are working, gossiping around. Jenny scolded and was about to snap back when Wine raised her voice. Wine, stop it, both of you. You always act like this. A few minutes later, Jungkook finished his coffee. One of the cafe's girls walked up to Wine. Girl, sir is calling you. Wine glanced at Jenny and Jack. They nodded at her in support. She waved her hands and walked toward Jungkook's table. Jungkook calmly, from now on, you will be the one making my drinks. Wine, understood, sir. Jungkook stood up without another word and exited the cafe, stepping into his car and disappearing into the light. The silence he left behind seemed to wrap around the cafe. Jenny and Jack stared at Wyan, eyes wide with a mixture of excitement and concern. Wyan, the plan is slowly working. Jack, finally, my strategy is taking shape. Jenny, your strategy? Excuse me, it was my idea. Wyan firmly, enough. We still have a long way to go. Their leader's voice brought an instant silence. The mission had only just begun. The night was quiet, shadows trapped over the silent roads. As one walked back home, her steps were slow, her mind heavy with thoughts. Just then, a piercing scream scarred through the silence. Wine froze. Without a second thought, she sprinted toward the source. Turning a corner, she found a woman writhing in pain on the ground, clearly in labor. There was no one else around, not a single soul. Wine knelt beside her. Wine, it's okay, I'm here, she whispered, helping the woman to her feet with great effort. Somehow she managed to get her to the nearest hospital. She waited outside the emergency room, her clothes soaked in sweat, her hands trembling. She had no reason to stay, yet she could not leave. The woman had no one, no family. Her boyfriend had abandoned her. She was utterly alone. A nurse walked out, urgency in her voice. "Nurse, the patient had been in labor for too long before arriving. She is critical. We need blood, lots of it. Her blood type is AB negative. We don't have that in stock. You must arrange it first." Once her top AB negative, that was rare. She pulled out her phone and started calling everyone she knew. No one had the matching type. Not wasting a second, she ran out of the hospital. She searched around the area, hoping for a miracle. Then she spotted a man across the street, yelling into his phone, "Man, I told you to bring the damn car now. Do I have to stand on this street all night waiting for you?" Wine dashed toward him. "Wine, excuse me, what's your blood type?" The man looked at her like she was crazy. "Man, why the hell would I tell you that? Wine, please, just tell me, it's important." "Annoyed," he muttered. "Man, AB negative. Now what?" "Wine, perfect. Come with me." Before he could object, Wine grabbed his wrist and started dragging him toward the hospital. "Wine, we need your blood. There is a woman in labor. She is dying. Her baby too. You can save them." The man didn't even get a chance to speak. A nurse appeared and led him away for testing. An hour later, the tension had lifted. A healthy baby girl was born, and both mother and the child were safe. One stepped into the room. The woman looked at her with tear-filled eyes. "Woman, if it weren't for you, we would not be alive." "Wine, as a sister, it was my duty." She picked up the baby and smiled. "Wine, she is beautiful." She carried the child onto the donor's room. The man, now laying on a bed, looked annoyed and pale. One chuckled at the sight. "One, still angry I dragged you here." He turned towards slowly. "Man, did I ever say I wanted to give blood? You just pulled me in. Wine, but you saved two lives." She gently handed the baby to him. He hesitated. Then his hands closed around the child. He stared at the baby, his expression unreadable. The baby looked up at him and smiled. "Wine, if I hadn't brought you here, she might never have seen this world." He remained silent. Then finally he spoke. "Man, Asher." "Wine, what?" "Asher. My name, it's Asher. Wine. I'm Wine. It was nice meeting you, Asher. You will be okay to leave in a bit. Asher, my driver will be here soon." Wine nodded, took the baby back and left the room. Asher lay back on the bed, his eyes following Wine as she disappeared down the corridor. For some strange reason, he could not stop staring, and he wasn't sure why. Morning arrived quietly once again. Wine, Jenny, and Jack were back at the cafe, working together like always. The familiar clinking of cups and soft hum of the coffee machine filled the air as the day slowly came to life. Moments later, Jungkook entered. Wine noticed him immediately and approached with a gentle smile. "Wine, shall I prepare your usual order, sir?" she asked politely. "Jungkook, yes," he replied, curtly, distracted. Just then his phone rang. He answered swiftly, his tone sharp and impatient. "Jungkook, what? Where on earth am I supposed to find a secretary right now? You people are absolutely useless. Get that body out of the way fast." Wine arrived with his coffee moments later. She placed it in front of him quietly. Jungkook didn't even glance up, lost in thought. She turned to walk away, giving him space, but then "Jungkook, hey," he called out. Wine turned around. "Wine, yes, sir." He looked up at her, his eyes piercing. "Jungkook, what's your education level?" Surprised, she answered. "Wine, I completed my graduation in business." "Jungkook, great," he said, not missing a beat. "From now on, you will work as my secretary. If you are up for it, you can join starting tomorrow. Here is my card." He slid a sleek business card across the table and stood up, taking his coffee with him. Without another word, he walked out, leaving Wine stunned. She stood there, still holding the card, trying to process what had just happened. Jenny and Jack rushed over, curiosity written all over their faces. Jenny, what did he give you? Let me see. Jenny asked, grabbing Wayne's hand. Jack leaned in. Jack, it's a business card. That's Mr. Gion's personal card. Wayne nodded slowly. Wayne, he just offered me the secretary job. Both Jenny and Jack screamed and started jumping in excitement, nearly causing a scene in the cafe. Wayne could not help but join them, a grin spreading across her face. Wayne, finally, she whispered, everything slowly falling into place. Jenny calmed down a little and said, Jenny, but from now on you will have to go in alone. We can only help you from behind. Jack nodded confidently. Jack, of course she can do it. Our leader can handle everything. The three of them stood there, bubbling with excitement and pride. Whatever lay ahead, they were ready, especially Wayne. Suddenly a thought came to Wayne's mind. Wayne, but I don't have any special professional clothes. We always have to wear normal clothes for our work. Jenny, oh leader, what am I doing? I know very well what to do in these matters. We will go to the shopping mall now. We have a lot of shopping to do, she whispered, but we need to buy some dress to seduce. And yes, I have to buy a lot of things. The dresses I wore in previous missions are now useless. Jenny, come on then. I haven't been able to go shopping or eat properly for so long with all this work. One smiled at Jenny's word. Jack, guys, there is something here. Talk to me too. Jenny, girls is talking here. Boys don't come. They both laughed. Wayne, now we have to start the mission. The mission has started, but Wayne herself doesn't know what is going to happen in her life.